What up, trainers? Today we're going over Wugtrio EX. I have two decks for you to take a look at. They both play a bit differently, and I think it's really good for you to see the different play styles that you can do with Wugtrio. There's not only one way to play it, there's several ways. So depending on what cards you have, if you haven't been able to spend any money on the game, that's totally fine. If you have two Wugtrios, you're probably going to be able to play these cards. If you're looking for a different way to play Wugtrio, take a look at these two right here. If you do like them, please like, subscribe, and comment down below if you've enjoyed them, if you're playing it. If you're playing Wugtrio a different way, let me know, because I think this Pokemon is actually really fun to play with in Pokemon Pocket. So let me know how you're playing it or what you've seen, what might work best. Maybe there's a better way to play. I'm sure there is. It's just difficult to find. But thank you so much for watching. I'm your host, Ronan. Let's go ahead and get into deck number one. Okay, with deck number one, let's go ahead and take a look at our cards that we have. Two Wiglets, the two Wugtrios, one Manaphy, one Shaman, and one Arceus. One potion, two Pokeballs, two Giant Capes, two Researches, two Misties, two Iridas, Red, and Team Rocket Grunt. Great, so now that we see like what cards are in this deck, let's take a look at the overall mechanics of what we're trying to do. So Wiglet uses one energy and can attack randomly for 30 damage. Wugtrio uses 3 energy and attacks for 150 spread damage randomly, or if there's only one Pokemon, it'll do all the damage to that one Pokemon. Then we have our Manaphy, which is going to give us 2 energies. That is our engine essentially for this deck. We have the Shaman, and Shaman allows us to be able to swap our basic Pokemon more freely. Next up is our Arceus card. We have Arceus in this deck because we need some big upfront damage. Next up, let's go over to our items. We have our potion, just one potion here, and then we have the 2 Pokeballs. If you're lucky, you've got that crown rare, which is sick. I got one. I got one. Anyway, that was dope. What we're running for Pokemon tools is Giant Capes, 2 of them. We don't need to utilize the Rocky Helmet. What we need is Giant Cape. So if we put the Giant Cape onto our Wugtrio and onto our Arceus, they both then will have 160 HP. It keeps us out of that one-shot range, which would potentially allow us a turn to attack with either one of these, maybe 2 turns to attack, because we're saving ourselves from getting one shot. Okay, next up, our supporter trainer cards. Obviously, we're going to be running the 2 Researches, but we then have 2 Misties in this deck. Irida allows us to heal for 40 HP any Pokemon that has a water energy attached to it, which is going to be most of your Pokemon. Moving on to our last 2 cards is the Red and the Team Rocket here in this deck. Red is going to help. More so, we want to play this Red with our Arceus. Let's say our Wugtrio was able to do damage already and we got 1 point, but then they countered and knocked out our Wugtrio, and so now we're screwed and we have to play Arceus. But Arceus can't knock out, let's say, the Mewtwo that's right in front of us, or right now, let's say like a Darkrai. Arceus is not going to be able to knock out the Darkrai in one hit. Even if we have a full bench, it will only do 130 damage and the Darkrai has 140. However, if we play the Red, then we do an extra 20 to EX Pokemon, and so boom, Arceus is going to hit for big damage. Team Rocket Grunt. Team Rocket Grunt is... It's been a lifesaver in some games, in all actuality. Being able to take an energy off of the opponent. Now, this is a coin flip, and so it's not always going to be a sure thing. But being able to take an energy off the opponent is pretty huge in that sense. It might save you a turn when you're potentially still stacking up energies onto your Wugtrio or onto your Arceus. The Team Rocket Grunt can save you a turn because they've taken one off, and then maybe, or more, like it could be all of them. I have definitely seen some coin flips where it was like Blastoise and a Giratina at one point too, where you flip and then and you just keep getting heads and heads and heads. It's crazy. Anyway, that is the deck right here. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you guys give this one a try. Let's go ahead and move on to deck number 2. All right, everyone, if you're still here, this is deck number 2. This is Wugtrio combined with Shaymin and Cyclizar. I know it's funky, bro. I mean, just straight up, it's funky. I think both of these decks are just kind of like odd and out there. I think they do work pretty well together. So let's go ahead and explain the situation that we're working with here. However, you'll notice some few differences, which is we don't have Manaphy, we don't have Arceus. So let's talk about the cards here. We do have Shaymin still, but it's the ground form Shaymin. If you guys know what form that is, please let me know down in the comments. But anyway, we have this Shaymin who is healing passively for 10 damage. It's not only 10 damage to one Pokemon, it's 10 damage across all of your Pokemon who have taken damage, right? Now Cyclizar has a move. It does 20 damage the first time, and then it'll do 40 damage the next turn with that attack, which in all honesty, 60 damage in 2 turns is pretty good for 1 energy. It has 80 HP, which is probably the more important part. Because if you play the other deck, you'll take a look at this deck and realize, okay, we want to have Cyclizar in the active spot, and we want to put the first energy on Cyclizar so that we can attack with that while building up our Wugtrio. That's the idea of it. The Shaymin is here to try to heal that Cyclizar. If we can keep the Cyclizar alive for like 2 to 3 turns, then that gives us the opportunity to have all the energy that we need onto that Wugtrio to swap out. So we still have the 1 potion, the 2 Pokeballs, 2 giant capes, again, for the same reason that we needed it before. We give the Wugtrio that 160 damage or 160 HP, which is going to help keep us out of range of most of the damaging attacks currently in the meta. And then to research 2 Misty, we're going with 1 Irida at this point. We swapped the second Irida for Iona. And this is because we have the Shaymin passively being able to heal. This is just a way to allow us to potentially get to that Wugtrio or get to certain trainer cards that we might need at that time, or maybe we don't have the giant cape in hand, or whatever it is. This is just going to allow us to be able to shuffle our hand again. And then we again have 1 red and 1 Team Rocket Grunt. So what the red could actually be used for is the Cyclizar. Maybe they started with their EX that needed to be like ramped up, like the Arceus or like Giratina, like Darkrai, and they're unlucky and it's in the active spot. You can use this red with the Cyclizar just to do some extra damage, like extra damage, which might just kind of scare them a little bit and potentially force them to either like use potions, like use their heals when they might not want to use their heals, or to retreat when they might not want to retreat quite yet. There is that opportunity with that quick damage coming through from the Cyclizar. I think can be very important, utilized pretty well. And then again, we have Team Rocket Grunt, who is pissing everyone off, just like Misty did. So yeah, we've combined both of them. This is the Wuggy way, the Wugtrio way. So yep, so with this deck, you play Cyclizar in the active spot and try to whittle your opponent down to enough damage to potentially be knocked out by the Wugtrio. All the while, we have Shaymin healing our Pokemon, trying to keep them alive. It's a fun deck. Wugtrio is just super funky, man. And again, I'm sure there's way different ways to play it, but let me know in the comments down below if you guys have played Wugtrio yet and what you're playing Wugtrio with, because I don't know, like maybe there is a like really good way to play it, but at the moment I don't know. I feel like these are really good decks. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please go down, like, subscribe, comment down below, let me know like what you're playing with this Wugtrio deck. Thank you for your time, and I will see you in the next video. Ronan out.